Mexico and the United States, two of Concacaf's most bitter rivals, battle it out today in the semifinal here in the 2021 Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship on another beautiful day in Alajuela, Costa Rica. Joe Malfa here with you for the action. Mexico has never lost to the United States in the knockout rounds of this tournament. And if they can get another win today, it'll put them through to the final tomorrow, but more importantly, clinch a spot in the World Cup in August. That's what's on the line today. A spot in tomorrow's final, a spot in August's World Cup. The United States looking to make it to a second straight World Cup, as is Mexico. These teams met in the final back in 2019. They meet in the semis here today. El Salvador and Guatemala coming later on. Mexico beat the Bahamas to get here. United States beat Panama. Both of those thrilling matches. Mexico needed a 2-goal comeback in the last 4 minutes yesterday against the Bahamas to make it here today. They won in extra time. The United States went back and forth the whole day with Panama, ultimately won that one by a score of 4-3. Teams are heading out of the locker room, getting set to take the field. As I mentioned, since this tournament has gone to the group stage plus knockout phase design of the tournament, after it was just round robin the first 2 times in 06 and 08. So the last 6 times this tournament has been group stage plus knockout stage. The United States and Mexico have met 4 times beyond the group stage. All 4 times Mexico won. The United States hoping to snap that streak today to get to the final and to the World Cup. These teams met in the title game last year, as I mentioned. 6-2, Mexico won that game. Both goals for the United States were scored in that one by Nick Pereira. And for Mexico, they got 2 goals from someone who is still on the team this year, Jair Aleman. Beyond that, Mexico won 4-3 in the 2015 semifinal. They won on PKs in the 2010 semifinal. And in 2009, they beat the United States 5-4 in the 3rd place game. 4 times they've met after the group stage. 4 wins for Mexico, 2 bitter rivals here in CONCACAF. The United States trying to get one in the win column in this rivalry, and doing so would put them in the World Cup and put them in tomorrow's final. Teams set to process out. I'll pause for a moment for their national anthems and rejoin you for kickoff between Mexico and the United States here in the first semifinal matchup of the day.
Damas y caballeros, les pedimos por favor ponerse de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de México, seguido del himno nacional de los Estados Unidos.
Tierra, patria querida te quiero, un soldado en cada hijo de Dios, un soldado en cada hijo de Dios. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a pesar del rigor, y defienden su centro la tierra, al sonoro requiere el cañón. Defienden su centro la tierra, al sonoro requiere. ¡Ya México!
These teams are ready to do battle here on the sand in Alajuela. Captain Nick Pereira out there for the United States. After the team photo for Mexico in the black and magenta today, Gabriel Macias, the goalkeeper, will trot out for the coin toss, captain of the Mexican side. Macias actually scored the opening goal yesterday for Mexico against the Bahamas. The offense was stagnant, and it was a strike to the upper 90 from the edge of his own penalty area by the goalkeeper that got Mexico on the scoreboard and shifted the momentum in their favor. For Pereira, he's one of the all-time leading goal scorers in this tournament, 4th all-time, but he hasn't scored now in 2 consecutive games. Perhaps this game brings the best out of him. Scored against Mexico twice in the final 2 years ago. He'll be looking to beat Gabriel Macias and the players in front of him. Portilla, Samano, Castillo, and Aleman, the starting lineup again for Mexico, and head coach Francisco Cati. They won yesterday in extra time on a goal scored by Diego Rodriguez against the Bahamas. United States go with Toth in goal, Santos, Pereira, Pereira, and Canale. Those last 3 guys, Pereira, Pereira, and Canale, have scored at will for the United States. Combined, they have 10 goals in this tournament. Head coach Francis Farberoff for the United States helped lead them to the trophy in this tournament. Back in 2006 as a player, he was the tournament's MVP. That was the last time the tournament was in Costa Rica. Back here again in Costa Rica 15 years later. Now he's trying to help them lift the trophy as the head coach. Equally as important, though, as getting a spot in tomorrow's title game and a chance to lift that trophy, the 2 winners of today's matches punch the Concacaf tickets to the World Cup in August in Moscow, Russia, starting August 19th. Can the U.S. do something they've never done before? Beat Mexico in the knockout stage of this tournament. Pereira lofts it out wide to Canale. Back inside to Pereira, blocked in front. Nearly a majestic start for the United States, but still on the attack. Pereira the bite. Aleman has it taken away by Pereira, still battling. Aleman, Pereira had 2 goals each the last time these teams met in the final in 2019. Mexico is seeking a 4th straight World Cup appearance and 7th overall. For the U.S., it would be a 2nd in a row and a 6th overall. Long toss from Toth. Shouts for a foul. Pereira was taken down as he attempted the bike, no call. Throw the other way, and Aleman looked injured. Walking over to the sideline. The road to the semifinal, not very easy for either of these teams. They had to work for it. El Salvador coasted through. They're in the later on semifinal. They have not been tested in this tournament. Guatemala pulled the upset against Costa Rica to make it to the semis. These two teams had to battle through. In the group stage, Mexico won each of their matches. They only had 2. It was the lone group that had 3 teams. So the United States has played an extra game than Mexico. Mexico dispatched Belize 6-3. And then in their match against Panama, they won 5-3. Pereira in the corner after the header from Pereira. Pereira puts it in the middle. Macias grabs it. The United States dominated Turks and Caicos 11-1. Won handily against Trinidad and Tobago 5-2. Were upset by Costa Rica 5-4. It put them in second place and put them on this side of the bracket instead of possibly meeting Mexico in the title game, meeting them here in the semis. And then yesterday beating Panama 4-3. So Panama, the common opponent for both of these teams. Mexico won 5-3, the US 4-3. All the way across, Santos mishits it. Goals have not been easy to come by for Mexico. They had 5 against the Bahamas, 5 against Panama, 6 against Belize, which in and of itself doesn't appear to be too bad. But if you go through those games, it was a struggle to get goals, and a lot of the goals they scored were very, very favorable bounces off the sand, off a body in front. Not many clean goals, if you will, scored. This one from distance, that one nearly a very clean goal, but a stop from Toth. Aleman in front. Americans the other way. Pereira thinks about a shot. Chips it towards Santos, but doesn't take the bounce he intended. Taken away by Bias. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how the ball goes in. All that matters is it does go in, so Mexico will take the goals they've gotten. But against a tough defensive team like the United States, curious to see where the goals come from. Christopher Castillo has 4. He leads Mexico with a goal in each of their 3 games, 2 of them in the second game against Panama. Outside of that, the goals very spread out. Diego Rodriguez has 3. He's in second place on the team. He had 2 yesterday. The game tying goal with 3:28 left in regulation, and the game winning goal with 1:40 left in extra time as Mexico completed that comeback against the Bahamas. But a new look Mexico team from the squad the United States faced in the 2019 final. Only 8 of the 30 goals scored in that tournament by Mexico were accounted for on this team's roster. So 22 goals are no longer part of the squad. All the way across to Albie Stone. Blocked on the way in. The US, on the other hand, a lot of familiar faces that have not only been with the squad in the last tournament, but in the last 4 tournaments, the last 5 tournaments. Veteran-laden squad looking to hopefully, in their eyes, get back to prominence and lift that trophy. They think this is the year to do it. They think this is the squad to do it. And they're seeking their first trophy in quite some time. The US has not won this tournament since the 2013 edition. They won the inaugural back in 06 when it was a round-robin tournament. They won in 2013 once it shifted to this format of group stage and a knockout stage. And they have not won since 2013. And now they have to deal with the free kick from Mexico. Nearly 5 minutes into the period, still scoreless. Not many chances yet for either team. As I mentioned, both of these teams in this tournament have been very stout defensively. For Mexico, goals have been tougher to come by. The US, they came out willing against the Turks and Caicos. Not as easy since then. And now Jose Vizcarra with 1 goal in the tournament, has a chance on the free kick against Toth. Vizcarra puts it wide. Those free kicks, those free chances will be so valuable in this game. U.S. thought they had just earned one as Albiston was taken down on the other end. He scored a goal yesterday against Panama. The opener of the game, in fact, on a penalty kick. Over the head of Mondragon, and Silveira, who was the hero yesterday, unable to save it. He scored 2 perfect bicycle kicks in the third period. The first put the U.S. up 3-2. They would concede shortly thereafter to make it 3-3. And then later in the third period with 3:40 remaining, he hit another perfect bicycle kick, and it won the game for the Americans. All the way across, that shot put well wide by Nestor Martinez, who immediately grabbed down to his groin area, grimace on the face. See if he's all right, if that affects him as this continues. He stays out there for now. Chavez, saved by Macias. Opportunity for Mondragon. Oh, what an opener! Upper 90 on the bicycle kick. United States strikes first. All you need is a little bit of space. That's all that Mondragon had. And he somehow fitted in that top corner. Over the shoulder of Bias, who was there to block it. Kissing the post on the way in ever so slightly. The opener for the United States. Second of the tournament for Mondragon. Toss to the back post. Aleman shouts for a handball, waved off immediately by the referee. Chavez out there defending. Wilfredo Dilbert, the lone outfield player without a goal for the United States. A team that had the scoring spread out throughout the squad and does also have a go-to guy in Silveira, nearly the equalizer from Castillo. Silveira has 6 for the United States. Toth sends it forward to Pereira. Pereira tries a bike of his own. Aleman mishits it. Silveira pressing forward. Macias gets there quickly enough. But a giveaway again. Macias touches it away. Mexico having trouble setting up the attack, but now Aleman presses forward. Touches it past Albiston, keeps it in only momentarily before he skies it. Mondragon gets the opener. His second consecutive Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship appearance for the United States. Tried out for the beach national team a while back, didn't make it, but then caught their eye in a scrimmage as they were preparing for a tournament and brought him on board. Mondragon's second of the tournament gives the U.S. the lead. Now Canale looks to take it down, but gives it away to Aleman. Space in the corner, but no help for Castillo. Waiting for some of it. Just has to go back to Aleman. Headed forward, Pereira. Macias chips it forward. Vizcarra
double. Watch the check, in and check back. Big, the one coming in. Hey, Rodriguez. Straight up. Both sides. Watch it.
Taken down by Vizcarra. And just over the line, out for the Americans' ball.
Sancho, throw it.
Alta, presión alta. Juega directo.
In front, Pereira. Pereira and Pereira linked up a couple of times. Giveaway again from Macias. Canale turns, has Pereira. Pereira back to goal, chips it up to himself, puts it wide. And Vizcarra goes down injured, right in front of the Mexican bench. Vizcarra shaking his right wrist as he goes off. It's been a beautiful week in Alajuela. Today, no different. At the moment, mid-70s, slight winds. The rain has stayed away for the most part all tournament long. Semifinals Saturday. Joe Malfa here with you. 2021 Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship. 2 matches today. This one the first, and El Salvador and Guatemala following this one. Today's winners will not only compete in tomorrow's title game, of course, but also they punch tickets to the World Cup starting August 19th in Moscow. All 4 teams playing today will be playing tomorrow because there is a 3rd place game, but you want to be playing second. That second game, the last of the day, the last of the tournament, means you're playing for the trophy, means you're playing for a spot in the World Cup. Bias, as Mexico tries to get that goal back. Under a minute remaining in the first period. Pereira battles Bias, wins the throw. Mexico needed their goalkeeper, Gabriel Macias, to break the ice for them yesterday. Trailing 3-0 against the Bahamas. He struck a volley from the edge of his own penalty area. That got them their first goal, woke them up. They still waited till the very end to come through. Nearly blocked in for a goal by Rodriguez. Mexico yesterday scored the 3rd goal with 4:20 remaining, and the equalizer with 3:28 remaining before winning it in extra time with just 1:40 remaining. They were down 4-2, they won it 5-4. And with 8 seconds left in the first period, at least one more chance for Mexico on the free kick from Alaman. He scored twice in the 2019 final. Between these 2 teams, Mexico won 6-2. Both goals for the Americans scored by Pereira. Alaman had 2 for Mexico. A chance to get one here and draw level near the horn at the end of the first period. Alaman strikes it over the bar. And the clock will run out on the first period. US 1, Mexico 0. The goal belongs to David Mondragon on a bicycle kick that he tucked into the upper 90. Back in a moment with highlights from the first period.
Este es el campeonato Concacaf Beach Soccer 2021. Recordarle que en breve tendremos a las selecciones de El Salvador ante su similar de Guatemala.
So much on the line here in the first semifinal of the day. Two bitter rivals in Concacaf, United States, Mexico, squaring off with a chance to make tomorrow's final, of course, but also punch a ticket to the World Cup. United States looking to do something they've never done before, and that's beat Mexico in the knockout stage of this tournament. Lost in the third place game in 2009, lost in the semis in 2010 and 2015, lost in the final back in 2019. And they're off to a good start, courtesy of David Mondragon. Toth started it off with a big diving save on a strike from distance that seemed destined for the corner by Eric Samano. Opportunity for Silveira on a bicycle kick. He scored 2 of those yesterday. Albiston thought he drew a penalty kick, just like he did yesterday to start the scoring against Panama. But no call was given. Chavez set one towards Macias for the save, and there is the only goal of the game so far. Mondragon gets it over the shoulder of Bias into the upper corner. Macias crashes into the post as he goes for the stop. The emotion pours out from Mondragon. Great start for the United States. They preserved that 1-0 lead the rest of the period. Had a couple chances to expand upon that lead, and Mexico didn't really have any chances to get that goal back. It's the same sluggish offense we saw from Mexico yesterday and against Panama in the group stage, but that championship pedigree, they found a way through in each of those matches. They'll look to battle back as we begin the second period in a moment.
Gabe, on the side. Be ready. Gabe, on the side. Gabe, on the side. Right, Tony! There, right, one more. There.
Mexico begins period 2 at the ball. Joe Malfa here with you for the 2021 Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship. Aleman and Samano eye it up. Aleman goes out wide to Castillo instead for the shot. Deflected on the way in, but it was off of a sand mound, not Silveira. Possession to the U.S. Pereira keeps it in. Uses that big frame to shield the ball. Silveira end line. End to end. Possession given up both ways, and it's back to El Tri. 4-time champions in this tournament. Looking to be the first ever back-to-back champion. Title has never successfully been defended. Mexico has won every other tournament. 8 previous editions. Chavez gets it outside to Santos. Toth to Pereira. Dropping deeper than we typically see him. All the way across to Silveira. Macias finds Aleman. Haven't seen Macias take a shot yet from goal. Prone to do that for Mexico, has a goal, came yesterday. Same thing for Toth on the other side, hasn't taken a shot yet for the U.S. He's got 2 goals in this tournament. No foul called against Aleman. Keeps it in down the wing. Gets past Pereira. Aleman still with it across. Chavez, space to take a shot, it's blocked. Samano running past Chavez, a shot of his own, stopped by Toth. Vizcarra works hard, picks the pocket of Chavez. Samano directs traffic and just sends it back to Macias. Back for Samano. Macias, there's his first shot. Toth grabs it. To Pereira, chested down. Out of Silvera's reach. And he's fouled hard. Take another look at it. Yesterday's hero for Mexico, Diego Rodriguez, fouling yesterday's hero for the United States in Silvera. Both getting the game winners for their respective nations that put them here in today's semifinal. Silvera, the leading scorer for the United States with 6 goals in the tournament. A chance here to double the Americans' lead. Silvera, the run-up, the strike. It bounces off the post. That close to going up a pair. Rodriguez. Back for Bias. Headed in front. Vizcarra takes it down, takes a shot. Toth on the ground, grabs it. It's been great to see the 6 leading goal scorers all time in this tournament's history, all competing here this year in 2021, all active players. That leaderboard has shifted. More of that in a second. Vizcarra goes forward, across to the backside. Corner coming for Mexico. Or not. Players were ready to take it. Referees point the other way. Physical play down the wing. Canale goes down again. Still with it. Canale lays it off and all the way back for Toth. Pereira, one of those leading scorers, 4th all time. He was in 3rd. Leslie St. Fleur from the Bahamas passed him now with 41 to Pereira's 39 as that one goes wide. We saw a shift at the top as well. El Salvadoran teammates. Velasquez has 10 in the tournament. Started with 45, now has 55. His teammate Ruiz has 51. He hasn't scored in this tournament. So 2 now became 1 in Velasquez, and 4 in St. Fleur now became 3 over Pereira. Shot from distance is just over the bar from Alessandro Canale. In our second game today for El Salvador between Francisco Velasquez, Agustin Ruiz, and Ruben Batres, we'll see 3 of the top 6 scorers all time in this tournament's history. Inside for Zuart, trying to set up the bicycle kick, it's blocked. Always have to be careful defending that. Make any contact and it's a foul, but Albi Stone just stood there, blocked it, takes it the other way, goes down. But a clean tackle from Bias wins the ball. Zuart waits for it to come down and volleys. Mondragon sends it out. Albie Stolen was waiting for it at the back post. Samano forward in the penalty area. Chance for Mexico, the equalizer. He's scored in every game now for Mexico. Castillo gets his 5th of the tournament, 1st of the day, 1-1. Again, here in the semifinal, we're tied. A goal each side, a bicycle kick each side. Mondragon has the goal for the United States. He was defending here against Castillo. Could not get a piece of it as he went for the block. We're level again. Mondragon on the kickoff. Out wide. U.S. looking to get it right back. Castillo, the team's leading scorer for Mexico with 5 goals. He's got 1 in each game. At least 1 each game, excuse me. He has 2 in the game against Panama. Long toss for Macias. See if that sparks some momentum now going in Mexico's favor. Castillo again.
Get out. Nico. Get out.
Back and forth between Toth and Perea. Now Toth takes a strike. There's his first shot of the day. We've now seen him take one. We've seen Macias take one. 2 goalkeepers that have scored in this tournament. Macias got his shot right on target, but right into the hands of Toth, who did not have to move for it. Toth's shot into the protective netting. Perea back for Toth. 4 minutes to go in the second period. Headed forward, chested down towards Mondragon, but too strong. Mondragon still battles for it. Resende taking the throw. Goes back. Wilfredo Dilbert, the lone outfield player without a goal for the United States so far. Dilbert looking to get there. Back the other way, and Toth, no trouble with it. Resende has it blocked. Resende tried to chest it down, but opened up too much, let it run by. Under 3 to go in the second period.
Watch the flick, Fredo. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Backside. Right there. Stay there, Fredo.
Back for Macias.
Stay. Coming in. Double the front. Nico, watch the man. Eyes on the man. No. Watch the man. Connor, step. Nico. Back post, Nico. Hey.
Vizcarra was thinking about the bicycle kick. Didn't fall correctly. Dilbert the other way has his shot blocked out for a corner. 2 to go in the second period. Dilbert slapped away by Macias. Pereira keeps it in. Shields it out for a throw. To the backside, Dilbert, his first of the tournament for the United States, puts them ahead 2-1. He was the last outfield player for the United States to score a goal, but it's the biggest one so far of the tournament for the Americans. A late lead in the second period against Mexico here in the semifinal. Just past the fingertips of Macias. Perfect diving header from Dilbert, and he gets the job done. He's been playing for this squad since 2018. 23 years old. Out wide, off the crossbar. Mexico nearly responds immediately. Pereira, chested down by Silveira. Bounces on the way into the back post. Santos turning. Canale keeps it in. Roll for Canale. Silveira has it blocked. A minute to go in the period. Pereira, space, the shot! Pereira, the finish! 3-1 United States! The big man gets it done in a big moment. His 40th goal all time in the history of this tournament. It's his 102nd overall in his career playing internationally for the United States. A 2-goal lead for the United States. The captain. Mexico in need of a response near the end of the period. Oh, and they get a lucky break. Mexico has had so many breaks in this tournament, and they get another. How did that one make its way in? Took a deflection initially from Santos, off a sand mound past Toth, and then off the chest. 3-2 United States. Back to a 1-goal lead. Up for Pereira, out to Canale. All the way across, nice job off the kickoff setting that play up, but it doesn't amount to anything. I mentioned it back in the first period that goals have been hard to come by for Mexico. But they've gotten so many bounces just in and around the goal to go their way, and they get another. They scored 3 goals similar to that against Panama. One like that yesterday against the Bahamas. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. It doesn't matter how pretty they are or if they're clean or dirty goals. Goals are goals are goals. And they have 2. They're only down by 1. What a finish to the second period. Slow start to it, but things picked up after that. Mexico able to equalize 1-1. The U.S. scores 2 unanswered to make it 3-1. And then Mexico, what a bounce they get in front of goal to respond immediately off the kickoff and make it 3-2. And that's where we are as we head to the third. Silvera had a chance on a free kick, put it wide, but eventually the goal would come for the United States. And they would get 2 in the period. But first, the equalizer from Mexico. Vizcarra had a chance, but eventually it would be Christopher Castillo, the leading scorer of the tournament for Mexico. 4 goals coming in. He's scored in each match so far for Mexico. And he gets the equalizer, his 5th of the tournament. Made it a 1-1 game. He did it on a bicycle kick, getting it past Mondragon, who was defending. Mondragon had the first goal of the day for the U.S. on a bicycle kick. And here he watches Castillo score his own. Might have taken a deflection there as well, off of Mondragon on the way in. Ever so slight. Made it 1-1. Wilfredo Dilbert was the lone American outfield player without a goal for the Americans coming into today in the tournament. He had a chance there that was blocked, but he would get his shortly after that on the throw from Pereira. Diving header at the back post. Dilbert puts the U.S. up 2-1. Pereira, the trigger man on the throw. He'd get his own goal on a shot in space just across midfield. Able to get it under the arm of Macias. And then there was the goal for Mexico that made it 3-2. Hopped up in front off of Santos and in. We head to the third period, a 1-goal game here in the semifinal. United States looking to do something they've never done. Beat Mexico in the knockout stage of this tournament. They're 0-4 against Mexico. They lost in the final in 2019, in the semis in 2010 and 2015, and in the 2009 third place game. Out wide, what a start to the third period to erase that history potentially. It's Alessandro Canale, 4-2 United States.
Hey, Nacho.
They don't care about the history. They only care about today. And they're inching closer to their first ever knockout stage win over Mexico. Well done off the kickoff. Struck to the corner. 2-goal lead for the U.S., but perhaps this is where Mexico wants them. They were down 4-2 in the third period against Bahamas yesterday. They tied it 4-4, and they won it in extra time 5-4. Will lightning strike twice for Mexico, or will the United States finally get over that hump and beat Mexico here in the knockout stage? A spot in tomorrow's title game on the line, where today's winner in this first match will meet the winner of the second match, either El Salvador or Guatemala. And both of today's winners punch tickets to the World Cup starting August 19th in Moscow, Russia. Bicycle kick in front. Foul goes against Diego Rodriguez. Toth was able to punch it away, get there in time. As of now, the game-winning goal belongs to Nick Pereira of the United States. Made it 3-1. That third goal currently serving as the winner if the scoreline remains the same. Pereira had 2 goals against Mexico in the final back in 2019, that 6-2 loss. Headed towards Pereira. Castillo flies in. Little flick on to Canale. Back for Pereira again. Mexico hasn't lost in this tournament. The U.S. took one loss against Costa Rica to end the group stage in a match that was only set to determine the winner and runner-up of the group. Neither team had any fears of not going through. No pressure for either side in that one.
Let it roll.
The only thing on the line in that Costa Rica-United States match was who would have the easier matchup on paper in the quarterfinal. The loser would have to take on Panama, the 2017 champions. The winner took on Guatemala. So it seemed like Costa Rica got the better matchup on paper by virtue of winning Group C, but Costa Rica went ahead and got upset by Guatemala, which set up the El Salvador-Guatemala match that's set to kick off coming up later on at 5 p.m. 5:30 p.m., excuse me. Coverage will begin at 5:20 right here wherever you're watching this one. Kickoff for 5:30. Same times for the kickoffs tomorrow. Third place game, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And the championship match at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. For the second time in 2 days, Mexico will have to battle out of a 2-goal deficit in the third period. And it's the same scoreline as well, 4-2. Aleman nearly got the third. The next goal, if there is one, so important. Macias blocks it initially and now takes it. We saw yesterday Mexico got that all-important next goal. Made it 4-3 against the Bahamas. And you could just see the pressure then mounting. The smaller club in the region, Bahamas, against the Giants, 4-time champions Mexico, crumble under the pressure of just a 1-goal lead down the stretch. Now the United States, a giant in their own right here in the region, more accustomed to dealing with the pressure than the Bahamas were. So perhaps they don't respond the same way if they do concede and go up 4-3. That ball just stays in. Pereira across. Silvera has it knocked away. But if the United States are able to get that fifth, then everything changes in the other direction. And there would seemingly be no way back for Mexico down 3 goals. Aleman, saved by Toth. But with the way these teams are capable of defending, for all I say about that next goal, there might not be one. These teams stout defensively throughout the tournament. Could very well see this one go to the finish line at 4-2. United States won't care what the scoreline is as long as they have one more than Mexico in the end to beat them in the knockout stage for the first time ever and make a 6th World Cup overall, 2nd in a row. Mexico looking for a 4th straight World Cup appearance, 7th overall. Only 5 spots of the 16 in the World Cup field are set. Macias sends it just over the bar. Those 5 qualifiers for the World Cup already did not have to go through any tournament. In Asia and in Oceania, the tournaments were canceled because of COVID. Those representatives were appointed by the Federation based on a rankings point system. So the 2 Concacaf qualifiers will be the first 2 that actually qualify through play for the World Cup. Russia, Japan, Oman, United Arab Emirates, and Tahiti are the 5 that have qualified by virtue of either being the host like Russia or appointment from their local federations. There will be tournaments in Africa, South America, and Europe to determine the rest of the qualifiers in the coming weeks and months. Mondragon halfway through the 3rd period. Dilbert, his 2nd of the day, 2nd of the tournament, and it might be the final nail in Mexico's coffin. 5 for the United States, 2 for Mexico. The 23-year-old Wilfredo Dilbert did not score in the first 4 matches for the U.S. Was the lone outfield player not to get a goal. But he gets 2 today when it matters most. It would take quite the collapse now for the United States, for Mexico to get back into this one. Mexico, goals have been hard to come by for them. The U.S., they have not given up many. Toth knocks it away. Chavez taken down. Montes de Oca in the mix, commits the foul.
Se prepara con el número 9.
Chavez from distance on the free kick puts it wide. Referee wants to have a chat with somebody. Brings over Diego Rodriguez of Mexico and Alessandro Canale of the United States. Some shoving behind the play, some words exchanged. Toth punches it away off the throw. 2 Americans converge. Chavez to the sideline. Macias pressures. Chavez never had a chance to get a shot off. Canale does. Macias makes the stop. Montes de Oca has his shot blocked by Santos. Portilla to the corner from Montes de Oca, and a corner kick is earned. 4.5 to go. 3-goal lead for the United States. Long road back for Mexico. They have to take that first step on that journey before getting a 4th goal and a 5th goal. They need that 3rd, and they're finding a hard time discovering opportunities. The U.S. defense very stout. Pereira sends it forward. We saw the United States basically kill off the last 2 minutes of the match yesterday against Panama, just passing it around. Granted, they were up an extra man because of a red card, but calm at the back, passing it around, milked most of that clock. See if they get into that defensive mode here, where Pereira, Toth, and the guys back there just start passing it among themselves. Maybe they get another goal first. Pereira takes it, Macias saves it. Chavez and Pereira got in each other's way, it seemed, where Pereira couldn't quite hit that the way he wanted to. But he takes it away. Another opportunity brewing. Alemán digs it back out. Macias. Samano. Just over 3 minutes to play. Macias has a strike, it's blocked in front. Silvera, the strike, saved by Macias. Under 3 to play. Bias goes forward, Toth bobbles it for a moment, but makes the grab. Toss towards the corner, goes out of play. Silvera Skara sends it in. It's blocked out. United States ball, just over 2 to play. Seems like they know what's coming. A 3-goal lead, 2 minutes to play. They're finally going to get over that hump, having never beaten Mexico in the knockout stage before. 0-4 coming into today. They're on the verge of doing it for the first time, and in such a big moment as well. It puts them through to tomorrow's final, puts them through to August's World Cup. Foul goes against the U.S. Out wide for Samano. 60 seconds to play. United States on their way to the World Cup and to tomorrow's final. What will the final scoreline, though, be? But the win now a formality. What a third period from the United States, not giving Mexico any opportunities to bring even 1 goal back. And it started in style. The U.S. had the kickoff here in the third period. They scored right off the kickoff, 4 seconds in. Made it 4-2. And then after that, Dilbert would make it 5-2. Where we've been ever since. And it seems like it's how we're gonna finish. Long run for Albie Stone to block off the path of Samano. 5 seconds to play. Macias takes one last shot. It's wide. Celebration begins for the United States. They're on their way to the World Cup. They beat Mexico for the first time in their history in the knockout stage of this tournament. They mobbed their teammate, Toth, the goalkeeper. What a performance from him. 5-2 victory for the United States. Back with highlights in a moment. The United States wasted no time in the third period to increase their 3-2 lead to a 4-2 lead. Right off the kickoff, Canale picks out the corner. And the United States would never look back from there. A 5-2 victory over Mexico. Wilfredo Dilbert would add the next goal. A couple of saves for Toth in the period to help preserve the lead for the United States. Chris Toth, the 31-year-old keeper, in his 5th consecutive Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship. Very experienced keeper for the U.S. over the last decade. Helps them proceed to the final, past Mexico, and now into the World Cup as well. They await the winner of El Salvador and Guatemala. That match set to kick off at 5:30. Coverage here begins at 5:20. Wilfredo Dilbert came into this game without a goal in the tournament, the only American outfield player without one. He gets 2 today. He gets the 5th that served as the exclamation point and put this one well out of reach. The rest of the way, the U.S. had a couple of opportunities, but it was more a matter of just tightening up defensively. Mexico didn't have any opportunities. The U.S. had chances to expand upon the lead, but it didn't matter. A 5-2 victory for the United States. They qualify for a 6th World Cup overall, their 2nd in a row, and they're going back to the final of the Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship for the second tournament in a row. They lost to Mexico last time around. They overcome Mexico here in the semis, now looking to rewrite the ending in the title game itself, where they'll meet either El Salvador or Guatemala. We'll be back in a little bit for that one. El Salvador, Guatemala getting set to come out for warm-ups. 5:20 coverage begins, 5:30 kickoff here in the 2021 Concacaf Beach Soccer Championship.